Good morning, Matthew. Good morning, everybody. It's dawn at High Ash Farm, and in last week's programme, I showed you one of the delights of the evening here at High Ash Farm when I was feeding the mallard. And every morning here at the farm, at dawn, I do the same thing. I know gulls are not everybody's favourite, but each morning I pop a little bit of food out on my lawn, and I have around 200, 250 mixed gulls here. Many of them have moved and live entirely inland these days. There's less of black-backed gulls in front of me. Nice juvenile one there I can see. The noise is pretty amazing. Black-headed gulls, which is a bit of a misnomer because they actually have a chocolate brown head, and they're always very nervous when they're feeding, even en masse like that. So they'll take off, and then a few moments later they'll come back. This wouldn't have happened 2 or 3 years ago, because the change in agricultural practice has meant that many of the gulls that you see out in the countryside have really had to change their diet, because ploughing has completely changed out in the countryside. It's more or less called min-till now, so farmers aren't turning over vast amounts of soil anymore. And therefore the gulls that used to follow oxen centuries ago, horses a few hundred years ago, and now modern agricultural tractors, is really no more. It's reduced by about 80%, and ploughing only really occurs now for root crops such as potatoes and sugar beet. Nevertheless, the variety of gulls has completely changed. The lesser black-backed gulls nest on buildings in Norwich and Wymondham, Swaffham. I've seen them lots, obviously, in Great Yarmouth and on the coastal regions of our county, nesting on top of buildings. Not everybody's favourite. They're ace at stealing your chips out of your pack on Yarmouth Marketplace. I've had that happen. I find it very amusing. And these gulls, there's Mediterranean gulls here, which you'd hardly ever see at the farm. As I said, lesser black-backed gulls, herring gulls galore as well. So you have a whole mixture of them. So it's really important not to call them seagulls anymore, because they don't always spend their life by the seaside. Many of them are moved inland. That may now change with the change in farming practices and the way that we manage our refuse tips, where a lot of them have fed in past years. So huge changes, but I just love that sort of moment when you see hundreds of gulls coming in. They'll come back again in a few minutes, sort of scatter and sit about on the fields and digest what they've had, and then there's a little bit of food left. Only put a tiny amount out because it's just such a treat sitting here in my kitchen, looking through my kitchen window at a glorious view of High Ash Farm. It's a misty, murky November morning. We're past the middle of November already, and it's just one of those little delights, a little taster. And if I just stand up and look out of the window, yeah, there they are. There's one sitting on one of the school lights over there, and you can see all lovely autumn colours, the beech hedge around the school, the riding school, and all along my building, there I live in, it's a converted piggery, you can see pyracantha, and this particular variety is called Orange Glow, and I've just seen redwing flying out, blackbirds flying out. So not only is there a feast on my lawn with the food I've put out and the worms as well for the gulls, but lots and lots of food here. And look who's just turned up on cue, Mr. Rat, the terrible terrier. No wonder there's no gulls here, you varmint. What? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right, I'll come out and get you. I promise. We'll go and do some work. Say, come on, Dad. Oh, it's nearly lunchtime. I don't know, maybe breakfast time. See you soon.